All right, so today what we're going to be reviewing is accessories and options. Also, we're going to go over the different, I have down here crown, bases, and backs, and what you see versus what you get, and also how to make your selections so you can do comparative pricing. It's something that we reviewed also with the door selections yesterday. And then the unit price review will go over that so you can make sure that everything you've selected is what you expected. And also we'll look at the room by room report, which is going to be your quotes and comparisons. So this is the project that we've been kind of working on. It is a walk-in closet. You can see on this wall, we have some shoe shelves with backing, and then there's some units at the end and hanging along the other wall. So some of the first things, what I want to talk about with accessories and options is that you all should know that your options, I like to think of them as the things that you don't necessarily see in the closet, but you still want to have happen. And some you do, so, but you just need to start understanding where your options, what options are in the options list and what are considered accessories. One of the most important things that we use a lot is the scribe molding, and that is in the options. So if you have a section where you want to have scribe molding, you do select it here. So in section 19, this double hanging, I do want to have scribe molding here along the wall. Also, you can see I've noted it as a cut to fit, and I've selected the cut to fit option. Selecting this option tells the factory that I want it to be cut longer so it can be custom cut on site. So that's why I have those there. A best practice is once you've selected those is to do your notations. So I already have the cut to fit notation, and I'm just going to put in my scribe notation on that wall as well, which we put at the top of the panel along the wall where we want that. So now I have that in there. The other location that I think, because we did scribe on that one side, we do want to have scribe on this side as well. So I'll go ahead and put that in there. Now, I want to show you a place in the, like a cheat sheet for you to help you know what items are in your options. So if you go to your file folders and you go into the KCD folder, there is a folder for you now that is Closet Factory Designer KCD Training Tools. And in here, you have an options list, and this is not a full printout of the options because it goes up to 200, and that would be several pages long. This is basically a summary of them in the order that they'll be on that long list. So you'll see scribe is the first one. Then you're going to have your drawer options, which are your file drawers, your false bottom, your double decker, cedar bottom. And then there's some panel and shelf options, holes, liners for your baskets, the wall beds, adjustable dividers, drawer locks, your lights, your garage bases, and then your shoe shelf, toe stops. So your toe stops are now in the options section, and they've been taken away from the set unit info area. So I would print this list out so you have that for a while until you get used to kind of knowing where in the list and which options that you'll be selecting from the actual options list. So that is already loaded when you do 7.0. So you should have that in your files. If you don't, then you probably didn't do 7.0 and you need to ask for help or have that corrected. So if we go back to KCD, I have my shoe shelves here, so I want to make sure that I've selected the option for that. And I'm If there is this option selected, the options list will open up automatically to one of those options. So I should go down and check and make sure, and I have not selected one. So I'm going to go ahead and select one. Right now, I'm going to leave this one unselected just so we can show you what it looks like if we did a set unit pricing. I'm going to go ahead as a best practice and just put here just a little note, knowing that when I have an option selected here, eventually I'm going to have to put a note on for the drawings, for the final drawings. So I just want to make sure that I put that note that cues me with a visual cue saying that there's something there that I need to note, that the option's already been selected. And we're going to leave this one unselected right now. So the options then, of course, are in the unit. So I'm going to select here. I'm going to make one of these drawers. Oh, we can see I already have it selected, a double-decker drawer. So drawer 2 is a double-decker drawer. And how the drawer count works is, if you think about it, there's always at least one drawer. So drawer 1 is always going to be the top drawer. Drawer 2 will be the one underneath that, and so on and so forth. So that's how that would work. The time when you need to consider how you're selecting would be with your file drawers. File drawers typically are on the bottom. So if I had a stack of drawers, typically I would make the bottom one, size it appropriately, and then make that a file drawer. I didn't want to have 1 through 9, so in reality, file drawer should only be 4 high. So we have 4 of those, and we start at the bottom. So your bottom drawer, and then the second one up, the third one up, and the fourth one up. So hopefully that's clear to you. If not, please make sure you reach out for more explanation on why that is. So I've selected drawer number 2 to be a double-decker. So I now have a double-decker situation. I want to add some accessories to that. So what we have now in our library on the left-hand side, and this is your Closet Factory Headquarters library, February 2019. All jobs moving forward, please use this. There have been some important changes to it, and we want to put a stake in the ground and start using this. Just so you know, if you have custom units, the way this is downloaded, it shouldn't have copied over anything, but you will have to copy and redraw them. So what I would do is look at what you have and then reselect them with the units from here. So you have them and then save them in this area. That way it gives you some time to transition those to the new library. So that was the goal in that. So the closet, underneath closet pieces, we now have closet accessories. The ones that you see here are going to be your standard, your melamine belt rack, tie rack, standard valet rack, just a chrome double hook, and your pull down rod. On each of these, mainly, you have to choose now a finish as well. So there's chrome and brushed nickel on your melamine, and then chrome and brushed nickel also on the standard. The double hook is always going to be chrome, and the pull down is chrome or oil rub bronze. And then you have your velvet drawer liners. So now you're actually pulling these over and putting them into the drawing. You want to size them to be the width of your drawer, of your between the panels, and then the depth, you want it to be 1 inch less than what your drawer is. And then it won't show through, and it also will price it properly. So this is 16 inches deep. I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to center it on 15. So, and of course it's showing through. So if I make that 0, and we're going to work on these over time, to improve them. the one thing is the numbers on these don't show up as they say, the same with the tag hardware. But when you do your show doors and you remove your doors, you can see that there's a velvet liner in there. So this drawer will have a velvet liner in it. So my other accessories I want to put in are custom. I'll do style 1 on top, and I'll make that 15 and 0. And I'll place that in the second drawer. I'm going to make that one on top. And then I'll do style 5. And I'm going to do that one just below it. Oops. Okay, so now you can see I have my double decker in there. And it doesn't need to be perfectly in there, but if you can align them and have them between the panels and behind the drawer, that's what we're looking for. And again, we'll keep improving those as we move forward. So now I have my double decker drawer box selected with my options, and I also have my inserts selected for that area. So I'm just going to make sure that each of these, because I know I'm going to have to do a note, I'm just going to go ahead and put that in here. So I remember to get the right notation in there before I turn the job in or have it signed. Okay, so those are set. Now I want to do some tag hardware. So I have these libraries from Tag. If you don't have those, please, I believe in your Closet Factory Designer KCD training tools, you have the PDF that will give you the link and the instructions on how to get those libraries. So please make sure that you've done that. If you haven't done 7.0, I would do this guide first. So you have those, and then I would do the 7.0 downloads. And if you have any questions about that and your Closet Factory headquarters library showing up, after doing that, please reach out for help. So I'm going to get a, let me see, oh, sorry. I'm going to go back to the closet and I'm going to get a tie rack. I'll do a 14-inch chrome. The left and right is which side of the accessory it's mounted on. So the left side of it, this should be right. This is confusing to me. So we'll try it in the right of. And then if I move it up, view, unit numbers. Yeah, so that looks like it's the right way. Chrome is a little hard to see, but you can see the tie rack coming out. So left means it's mounted, the mount is on the left. The ties are on the right. It's backwards from how we have the melamine. So I always have to look at it. The belt rack, 14-inch chrome. I'll do that on the left of, I don't know. Sorry, I got rid of my numbers. Show numbers. Okay, 28 or 14. So on the left side of 14, and I'm going to choose it's going to mount from the right, and there I have that. So I have some accessories from the Tag hardware. I've put some accessories behind drawers, and I have my notes, and then I have at least one of my shoe shelves set up properly. So what I'm going to do is we're going to make sure that we've selected the materials properly. So I'm going to do my set unit info. I actually have 2 rooms, so I'm going to be doing it by room. And I'm just going to be setting and running on the right now on Anna's closet. So previously I had set it up down here, and I want to follow those again. So if I'm making a change, what I do want to make a change on, do I? Yeah, because I want to add crown molding as well. So I'm going to put crown molding in here as well. So when I have a thing I want to repeat it, I like to have it shown here so I can step through it. So I'm going to do the Minx, and we're doing the Adobe Paint Grade. If these choices are odd to you, don't worry about it. It's more for the process than the actual look of the closet. So I'm doing wood painted, flat edge band. I'm doing polished chrome rods and an inset kick. I'm going to do we'll do just flat melamine open. Backing, I'm going to do the matching material. And drawer box, standard drawer box handles, I'm going to do client supplied handles. No countertop, no second material, wood painted, and insert, I'm going to do glass. And I'm going to set that. So now you can see down here, everything is set. This information is really what we want to look at the next time I open it up. This information is what goes forward to the factory when you save your job file. When you open it up again, you're going to see the standards up here. It's going to say white melamine again, and you're going to panic a little bit. But those are just for the settings. What was previously set is down here. So the first time you open it, you need always to make sure that you set it before you run any of your reports. Okay, so now that one is set, and I'm going to run a unit price review on just that closet. So I'm going to pick Anna's closet, and I'm going to do calculate, and I'll run this, and then we'll go back through that. The unit price review is standard pricing. It doesn't matter whether you put 0 or 10% for your discount if you still have that window popping up. Because it's standard, that doesn't impact the numbers that you see. So now I have my unit price review. If I know how the multipliers work, I can check on my numbers. What I always like to look for is zeros and the word none. So I'm just kind of looking through here. My zeros are for the bases, which makes sense to me. And I have my scribe molding is showing up. I have an option here, cut to fit. Cut to fit is an option that doesn't cost anything, so it does say 0. It is, then we have the toe stop, matching melamine. So this is where I've selected it, and then if I look, it's unit 20. If I go up to unit 20 on the shoe shelves, it says toe stop matching material. So I know that that was selected properly and the price is included in there, which is great. That's what I want. But when I come down here to the second unit, it says none. This is another word that I'm looking for, and I can see that I didn't select an option for that. So I have to go back into that unit and select the option so it prices it properly. And it looks like everything else is in here. I have my jewelry drawer, my velvet liner, and was unit double drawer 2. So unit 15 has a double decker included in there too. So I can double check on all of that it's there. So it looks good. Down below, I have a summary. If I had run both of these closets, the handle count, countertops, and crown molding, whenever it shows up here, is a total of all of the rooms in the job, and this will be a summary. So you would have, if you had 3 closets in your job, you would have 3 items separated out here so you can see per. Now it shows here that I have a flat melamine open selected, but my quantity is 0. So that means I don't have any crown actually in my drawing. So I need to correct that too. So let's go back and correct those two things. I'm just going to do my molding. I want to show you a trick about options. If you're not sure you selected any options, you can do change on, go to your molding, do change on one or more units, and you're going to see a list of all of your units. There's this curious little plus, which means that there's an option selected in there. So if you have some mystery thing going on or you're not sure where you put what, you can come here and see that these 4 units are going to have options already selected in them, and you can go to that unit. The unit number is here, and you can figure out what you did. So that's just a little trick. You should always hit cancel after that so you don't redo your molding. So that's a little trick. But change molding in this room, we're going to do molding in the room. So now next time it prices it, it will have that in there. And then I'm going to come here to my unit, and I'm going to select the toe stop option. And I'll just do a quick note. I just put the word note right now because later I'll add a note number to that. Let me see. So I think I've got everything now. I'm going to do my pricing. I'm picking everything from 7.0. You may have noticed that I picked all CF countertops. I'm picking all CF countertops because I want to make this a habit. Eventually, all of these other ones will be erased from your selections, and you won't have to worry about anymore. So the sooner you get on to 7, we can get rid of all the 6.2. And move forward on that. But we still need to select this because of the logic that KCD uses to do its countertop calculations. It runs through all of the units for panel, shelves, drawers, doors, and anything else. And then at the end, it runs through everything again, saying, is there countertop? Do I need to count it? Not the way I would have done it, but that's how it's set up. So we still need to select this. I've made it a habit because if I've selected none, it will just go through and say, there's no countertop, there's no choice. So it's just going to calculate it at 0, which is fine. And that way, if I ever have multiple closets with one little countertop somewhere, I never forget to calculate it. So please make that a habit. Unit price review. Now I'm going to do both closets because I forgot to select one. That'll have to be okay. So now the unit price review is going to have both of, I believe it's going to have both of my closets in here because I didn't just select to include one of the closets. So yeah, so it's 1 through. So you're going to see that for some I have backing none, and that means that there's not going to be, there's backing in the drawing, but nothing was selected. Those are tools that you can actually use to do a price comparison, and that's what we had shown yesterday at the training. But you see down here now, my crown for one closet, that's the basic closet. There's no crown molding, but down here you can see that I now have a quantity, and it's all here. So these we're still kind of working on because there's issues with how it's drawn and whatever, but just so know that you want to have some quantity in here. That's close. We're still working on the exact numbers as we improve the way we're drawing things. So I think our second closet is good to go, but now we can run, so we can run a comparison of the 2 closets. So this is the closet that she ends up with eventually, right? The upgraded closet has backing, has the accessories. The other closet that we did first was a basic closet. Now we did have backing in a couple of the sections, but when we selected our change set unit info, we said that there was no backing. So this way, if you've already drawn your units with backing and they say, well, what is it without backing? You can come to your set unit info and reset the items. Now you do need to go through all of them and select none for your backing, and it's going to show that you have no backing in there. Now, the thing to remember is if they decide to go without backing, you do need to physically remove the backing from your units. Okay, but if now I go to the room by room, I have two closets, similar designs, but different finish selections and different accessories in them. And I can do a room by room report now. So the room by room report is going to show your discounts. I consider this a client facing report, so they will get this and look at it. The unit price review, because it's standard pricing, is something I try not to show the client the bottom line. I'm just using it to check the materials. They might see a few numbers, but there's so many they can't add them up, hopefully. But your room by room report has the numbers that we want them to see. If you've done your designer upcharge, it will show in the subtotal number and follow through with your discounts. So that's going to be reflected in these reports, as will the discounts that you see here. So these two rooms are basically the same design. They have finishing differences, so flat edge band door with acrylic inserts, your toe stops, and backing. If we look for the backing, it says none. So no backing is priced. It's shown in the drawings, but it's not priced. So it's a quick way, again, to show them. And then here we have the backing, and we have the upgraded doors with glass, and it's painted. And then we also have the different options and also accessories. The accessories are going to be shown down here because that, again, is something I'm restricted with in KCD, but you do see the name of the closet. So Anna's closet is where these accessories are, and if the basic closet had any in there, it would say Anna's closet basic. The numbers over here right now, they're the depth. Eventually, I think I'm thinking about getting rid of those. So give me some feedback on this as you use it, what information we need or not. The more we use these and understand how they benefit us, we can improve them and make them better. So that's, I think Desiree had some comments about that, just wondering what it was. It's not a price, or it's not a count, it's the size. On some of the accessories, it's beneficial, and some it's not. So that's why I'm wondering whether we need it or not. So anyway, this is again the room by room report, and you can print this out, do a print preview. You should then see your header up here, and you can print this and share it with the client as a PDF. Then the other report, once they've selected the closet that they want, you would be printing out the unit price review as your standard pricing. So again, once they've selected their closet, you would be preparing a job file with one closet in it, if that's what they selected. And I don't want to delete mine because I'm still in process on this, but you can select this to run the report. So I'm selecting just that closet to run my unit price review. Best practice would be with that one closet in there, you would renumber all of your units, and you do that by going to change and then select renumber units. So on your report, the first unit should be 1. On here, it's not going to be because I do have another closet in here still. But again, you're going to just check down through here, and then this would be your standard pricing for the job as you turn it in. And this one, again, you want to turn in as a PDF. PDF is going to make sure that you have this information. So you should have your company header set up and also your job header, which is where you're putting your client information. We've reviewed that in the other sessions. And then you would print that out and send that directly to the factory with all your other paperwork. So those are the, let me just make sure, room by room, price review. If you guys are wondering about, if you look again in here, about that designer markup or the discount pop-up windows and how to handle that, you can use this file, designer markup and discount pop-up. It will explain to you how to disable the discount pop-up and how to use the designer markup. So that's information on how to make those things happen.
So the 7.0, in order for us to move forward with this, you're suggesting that we need to download this to have the most updated pricing, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And also the other thing is, when you mentioned something about the tag library, now isn't that also now available when you go under the Closet Factory headquarters? You can go down and see the tag. Is that where we're getting that? Under that
Yes, but it is something that needs to be downloaded. If you let me see if I can. So if you, I have to touch my GoToMeeting. Oh, sorry.
That's right.
So if you click this down and look here and you do not have the tag hardware, then you can follow the link in this and follow this information to get them. Okay. But just be aware that, when you do that, it forces a new library list on you. So if you can't find your Closet Factory headquarters February 2019 library if you already did that, don't panic. I mean, the way that you would do that, I'll just do it quickly. You come down to any of these units here and you highlight it and do a right mouse click, edit library, make edit library, and then you would have to do a new library and you would type in Closet Factory Headquarters Feb 2019, exactly how it's written here with the capitals where they are and the spaces where they are. And then you'd hit OK and it says, do you want to restore? And then you would restore it. So it's not necessarily gone, but you do need to relink it basically. So if that happens to you, you can always reach out for help.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Are there any other questions?
I have a question. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi. So when you're pricing a job and you've got using two different colors, like a white melamine and a toasted pecan, but like the shelves and the molding are toasted pecan and everything else is white. How do I tell it that those 4 shelves are toasted pecan? Does that make sense?
The whole shelf or just the front edge of the shelf?
The whole shelf.
Okay.
Like how do I, yeah.
Okay, so when you do something like that, and let me just add a room.
For pricing, because.
Right. So there's a couple of things you need to be aware of when you do that. But let's take. So what you'll have to do, so you have like a shelving unit, or everything, I'm trying to understand. So everything else is.
say everything's white, but the shelves are any other color.
Okay.
When I price it, how do I tell it that the shelves are not white?
Okay. So in that kind of situation, what you need to do is you need to separate things. So typically we like to have the panels inside of a unit if at all possible. So let's say, let me see how I can do this. Let's say you have something, I'll just do it this way. And like these two sections, whatever they are all going to be the same color. And then you have this different colors going on in the center. So if they're just shelves, I'm going to do 18, and I'm separating it from the left and right side. And I'm going to try and click that. Okay, so now this unit in the middle, I want these shelves to be a different color. So what I would do is first I would go to my change set unit info. I'm going to select the room 3. I'm going to set everything to be white. So I have no door. I have no drawers. Edge banding, I have no rods. Basic toe kit, crown molding, none. Backing, none. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to go by unit. So that was unit, what was it, 18? No. Do you remember the unit number?
The very last
Or
one you put
32.
in.
We'll say 32. It must be the last one I did. So 32. And I'm just going to select that unit and I'm going to make it a different color. So we'll do moonlit. Okay, so I'm going to set that. All right. When I do my pricing now, I'm doing my unit price review, and I'm just going to pick that third room. So you can see that I'm looking through here, everything is the white melamine, and then that stack of shelves is the moonlit, so it's priced differently. So it's showing properly there. What's going to, you're going to have to be aware when you do these one-off color changes on a unit, then what you're going to have to know is when, like, you do your room by room report. Oh shoot, I want to just do that one room. Hopefully it just does the one room. Okay, so this is basically just the one room. And it would be the same if you did a contract. It's only going to show the white melamine. So you would have to add in here, the other, shelves, a second color as, selected, so that they know that it's already in there. So those one-offs, like if you had one section that had a different door style or something like that, you will have to edit that. And what you would do there is you can just type right in here, before it becomes a PDF, you can make those changes right here. Okay. Does that help answer your question?
Yeah. Yes, that was good. It's a little bit of practice, but good. Thanks.
Yeah. And then as far as selecting colors for it, you know that you would go to colors and then you can pick a different group. So everything is in white, and you could pick a different group just for that one unit.
Right.
Nice.
Good, thanks.
Okay. And then Linda had a question in the chat. It says she's not sure about how to specify countertops. So let's get rid of this one and let's put a little base unit in here. So we'll make that 18. Oh, I don't know why that happened. Sorry. Okay, so I have 18. I'm just going to center that on the room. So now I have a unit with a countertop. So when I come into my change set unit info, I now have a countertop selection here. And the way that I've got that is we have to make sure that you have the correct unit info type. It needs to have the name CT in there. And that's for countertops. So now instead of toe stops, which is what you have if you've not made that change, you need to do the drop down and select the one that says countertops for October 18 materials. There's one also with a dash green. You can select that one if your materials have a green substrate. You can select one of those and go back to your regular if one of your rooms has it. The thing to know about this is the spreadsheet down here is what's moving forward, okay? So when you have your countertop set, so let's go ahead on our room number 3. We're going to select, so right now, we have no countertop. So we're going to do a color core. Now, this is the exact same as list as all of those individual ones, but now it's in one place. So we select it here, and I'm going to go ahead and set that. I think I messed up everything else because I didn't do my due diligence. Let's review that. So I'm going to redo this. I'm going to do, what do we pick? Moonlit. If you don't want to do what I did and repeat everything, make sure you take the time to pay attention and get the right things in here before you hit set. No crown molding, no backing, no drawers. That way, when you run any of your reports, they're going to be, oh, wait a minute, I do have drawers now. That's the whole idea. I'm just going to do standard fat edge band. Standard drawer. No, I don't have drawer boxes. I just put a unit in, right? Base unit has a drawer. Handles. Group 1. Color core. No insert. No finishing. And now I go set. Yes, okay. So I selected group 1 handles, so I'm going to go ahead and put knobs on those, so we have those. And now I have everything in here. So now when I do my pricing, I need to do, this is where it's really important that I select this. I'm just going to do room 3, and I'll do the unit price review. So now it's going to go through everything and say, you know, do you have countertops? Yes. And it's going to say which one is for this room. And it was the color core. So we should see that down here. So we have it right here. Okay. And the group 1 handles are here too, the knob count of 2. All right. So that's how that is selected.